I went back. I had one pair of flip-flops, one Hawaiian shirt, and jeans. And I said, let's go, Dad. And he said, well, where's your stuff? I said, I don't need anything. I'll be back tomorrow. And he said, okay, cool. Didn't argue with me, no nothing. So we go home and spend the night, sleep on his couch, and we go down the next morning to the basement of Palmer Church, and I meet a guy named Sam B. And my father's in there for a few minutes, and my dad leaves, and Sam and I talk, and Sam starts telling me about himself, story similar to mine, but then his gets even worse. And he tells me about a program that he has found and a way of life that has allowed him to not use or drink or do drugs, I think, for 13 months. And I'm like, wow, you've done nothing for 13 months. I couldn't think of 13 hours or 13 days, And he said, yeah. And then he said, and one more thing. He said, I have a friend or someone in my life now that knows everything there is to know about me. He said, somebody knows who I am. And I thought, wow, that would be awesome. I thought, no way, for all of his, twisted stuff that he's done, and thought no one's ever going to know that. And he went on and he continued to talk about the program. And he said, finally came to me and said, well, Pat, what do you think? And I said, I think you guys have a great program. And I've got 2 roommates up in college that can really use it. And as soon as I get there, I'm going to tell them about it. And Sam, being experienced like he was, said, no, punk. That's not what I'm talking about. And I looked around. There wasn't anybody else in the room but me. And he said, this is about you. And he said, how long do you think you're going to last out on the streets? And I said, what do you mean? I'm not going out on the streets. And he said, your father is an awesome man, and he's going to do whatever I tell him. And he said, if you won't stay here for the next 24 hours and not drink or use and be with me, I'm going to tell him to not take you back to school. And he said, you can go down the street and live downtown, and how long do you think you're going to last down there? Well, I thought about it, and I was basically trapped. And I said, all I got to do is for one day. And he said, that's right. He said, be down here, go home with your dad tonight, be down here tomorrow, and I'll talk to you. And I thought, I can do that for one day. And he said, your father said, as long as you're doing that, you can stay at his house. He's going to see to it you have money to eat, and you got a chance. You don't do that, you're on the streets. That started a day at a time journey that has served me all the way till I'm sitting here right now today. And the first meeting I went to, the first day I was exposed to a 12-step program, I sat in the room and I listened to these 11 or 12 other people talk. And the thing that was so unusual, it was like the meeting was rigged. I didn't say hardly anything, and they came to me at the end, but each person that talked was telling about feelings they had had, experiences they had had, life situations that were exactly like mine. It's like, for the first time, I was around people that I thought I felt understood me. At that first meeting, there were people talking that started introducing the concept of a higher power, and that there is something greater than all of us, and that all I needed to know is that my thinking, my best intentions and actions had gotten me to that room. And it was not hard for me to look back and know and see what those were, but that when I sat in these rooms, I felt something different, and that it was a power that was stronger than me that could help me get sober and stay sober one day at a time. And that became the basis of my spiritual beginning in the program. My life's been blessed in a million ways. I talked earlier about the sad dreams I had at age 20 and hopes and goals, and the life I've had, and the dreams come true so far exceed anything I could have even fantasized, that I would be blessed with the experiences and the quality of life and the opportunities that God has given me. And I believe it's because of sobriety and committing these steps in Jesus Christ.